Hello, welcome to this video lesson. I'm going to show you 5 techniques that are going to really help your walking bass lines. If you want to learn the basics of what notes to use in a walking bass line, then check out my other videos. There's video number 42, how to play a walking bass line, and video number 37, how to start playing bass. And you'll find those on my YouTube channel. And if you click on the jazz playlist, there's some other videos in there too. These 5 techniques that I'm going to show you are going to make your walking bass lines sound more interesting and more authentic. A lot of the techniques that we play now in our walking bass lines on the electric bass came from the double bass. So we can use techniques that imitate the sound that double bass players get in jazz. The first technique we're going to look at is how to use open strings in our walking lines to make them sound more funky and to give them some more swing. Listen to me play the same example twice. The second time I'll put some open strings in and see if you can hear the difference. What I'm doing here is playing quick notes at the start of beat 2 or beat 4. They're actually 16th notes before I play the proper note. You can use any of the open strings. It depends really what string you're playing on at the time, although open E's do sound great with any lines all over the instrument, especially when you're playing high, they can sound really good. So experiment with different open strings and see what you like the sound of. I've written this example out along with the other examples in this video lesson. I'll put that on a PDF with standard notation and tab, and you can get that for free by clicking the link below this video in the description. We'll now look at the second walking technique, and this one's quite similar. It's the use of muted notes, and we can use these muted notes in the same way that we use the open strings, so they sound great on the second and the fourth beat. Muted notes can give your walking bass lines a more percussive sound, and I find that they really help again with the swing of the walking bass line. You play muted notes by resting your left hand, your fretting hand, lightly on the string. So if you use all of your hand, then you get a much more muted sound. And you pluck the same way with your right hand. So generally a muted note is notated with a crosshead. And it's notated on the note that they want you to mute, but it doesn't really matter, just in that general area. Listen to me now playing a walking bass line with muted notes. So if I was to play that without the muted notes, it's just a standard turnaround. And with the muted notes, so try that example out yourself from the PDF and experiment putting muted notes into your own bass lines. Now the third technique we're going to look at is the use of triplets in our walking lines. Now a triplet is where we play 3 notes over 2. So in the case of a walking bass line, we've got 1 beat, we play a triplet, so it's 3 eighth notes over the space of 2 eighth notes. So we've got 1 beat and we're fitting 3 notes into it. I'll now demonstrate how triplets sound within a walking bass line. Now if you look at that example on your PDF, it's example number 3, and you look in the second bar, you can see a triplet on the first beat. Now the notes of this triplet are A, G and D, and we go back down to A afterwards. So A, G, E, A. And if we look, so that chord is an A7. If we play an A7 arpeggio, we can see that we've got these notes. So it's really the arpeggio backwards, and we're not playing the third. So we've got the octave, the 7th, the 5th, and then down to the root. So that's a nice way to construct one of these triplet fills. And if we look at bar 4, we've got another triplet on the first beat, and that's over a D major 7, and we've got D, F sharp, A, down to D. So if we play that 7 chord, we haven't got the 7th in this triplet fill, we've just got the octave, the 5th and the 3rd, but we're playing the 3rd before the 5th. that's another way to construct this triplet. So you can really make them any way that you want. It's just be guided by how they sound. So try these examples and also try and put some triplets in your own bass lines. The fourth technique I'm going to show you for walking bass lines is the use of pedal notes. Now pedal notes are where we keep the root the same. Sometimes this note can carry on when the chords change above as well. A good way to use it is saying a turnaround at the end of a sequence. So for example, if we've got a turnaround in F, we can just use the fifth of F, which is C. We can use the fifth, and the fifth, the dominant chord, really wants to go back to the root, so it's great to use at the end of a sequence because normally the first chord of a sequence would be the root chord. So I'll now demonstrate that to you within a bass line, and I'm replacing the turnaround with the pedal note. So what I'm doing there is we look at the sequence, so that's example 4, A minor 7, D7, G, C7. We're using the pedal, and then instead of the turnaround, and then back to F. And this can be really effective for building up tension. You can use it in different places in the sequence, and like I say, it really builds up tension underneath the solo. The fifth and last technique I'm going to talk about is how you need to add shape to your walking lines. So if you don't have shape, it sounds really jumpy. This doesn't sound great. So that doesn't sound nice at all. So you want to think about shape. So think about going up, then coming down, going up and coming down. You can have some little changes within that, but generally if you kind of looked at your line written down, it would be a nice shape. So I'll play you an example now. This is example 5 on the PDF, and if you looked at that example, you could see that the line just goes up and down a bit and down, stays in the middle and starts going up again, and you can hear that too when I play it. So try this example yourself, example 5, and then get a chord sequence for any jazz chart and try your own walking lines and try to add some shape to your lines. Well, I hope these techniques have given you some more ideas of what to put in your walking lines. If you don't really know how to walk at all, like I said before at the beginning of the video, then look in my jazz playlist on YouTube and you'll get some ideas there. But definitely try to put these techniques in. And one thing is, don't overuse them, especially the first 4. So don't just put muted notes and open strings on every note. But number 5, about putting shape in your lines, you can definitely think about this all the time with your walking lines. And if you're just doing simple blues walking lines, this helps to think about the shape as well. So remember to pick up the free PDF and also subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. You can press the red subscribe button, and if you click the bell then you'll get notified about any of my new videos that come out. You might also want to head over to my website gbshed.com. I've got loads more free bass resources over there, and also I've got some video courses and some ebooks that might be of interest to you. You can also get a great free masterclass when you sign up to my mailing list on the home page. So I've put the link for that in the description below this video, along with the link to the free PDF, but you can just head over to gbshed.com if you want to check it out. Please like and share this video, that helps me to spread the word about Greg's Bass Shed, and I'd love to hear any comments or any questions that you have. You can just write these in the comments box below this video. This is Greg from Greg's Bass Shed. I'll see you in the next video.